Greetings to all at Skyflying Dreamer. Today, this is me, your host, the blind guy. Hello, everyone. It is now Sunday, March 20th. Wow, already. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to 2022 to my 10th Lucid Dreaming Q&A live stream. I want to apologize sincerely to everyone who came last night for what was an unmitigated fiasco. I think I ran for a total of 10 to 15 minutes. My clock probably said something different than yours. My home internet wasn't letting me connect to Discord. My mobile internet decided to drop partway into the stream to pursue greener pastures, I guess. So now we're back, and I'm on my home Wi-Fi, and it's working for now. So hopefully we don't drop. Wish us luck, guys. Thank you very much for being patient with that. I do apologize to everyone who was there. Thank you for your understanding. All right, let's get into it. Everyone who's been here before, you know the rules. We have a slow mode on, 45 seconds. That is to help me with spamming, as I'm blind and trying to read through the messages, and it's to help promote more serious questions being asked. I'd like to welcome everyone. If you are a member of Skyfall Blind Dreamer, you subscribe. Thank you. Special welcome to the Dream Cafe and Omni Lucid Discord members as well. And I am close to 300 subscribers. I was at 296 when I last checked. So getting to 300 subscribers, kind of cool to do today. I don't know if it'll happen. Probably won't, but it'd be kind of cool. So with that, Jay Plays, by the way, thank you for subscribing. I think you subscribed today or yesterday. Maybe it was today. Thank you. Fingers crossed. Thank you very much. Raspus, hello. You are new to my streams. Hello, Raspus. I don't believe we've talked yet. Welcome. Jacover! Way! Yay! I'm glad you can make it. I don't know how long your break is, bro, but I hope you can stick around for a little bit. JKL IOP, you have been here before, I think once or twice. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Well, we got introductions out of the way. This event has only been on Dream Cafe and Omni Lucid for about 3 hours. So as a result, we have 3 listeners. Isn't it amazing how that happens? I guess Sunday nights are just not a great night for us. I really wanted to do this last night. I really did, but my internet had other plans for me, which is a real sad, crying shame. So I wasn't able to actually get into this last night like I wanted to. And I actually didn't get much sleep last night either. I'm taking university classes. I have Model UN class. I do finish a briefing folder on my country, and I actually a lot more data to sift through than I thought. Ended up staying up all night doing it. Well, I hope she finds it okay. I think we were looking for about 3,000 words, and she's getting about 5,000. So I hope that's okay. So let's hopefully that goes well. Well, welcome to the 3 of you who are listening. Appreciate you guys. Anyone have any lucid dreaming questions to get things going? I've let everyone know on the different servers that we've started. Hopefully they start trickling in, at least those who are actually active. Chat's been kind of dead a little bit this evening, unfortunately. A few hours, like about an hour ago, it was pretty dead, so there weren't exactly a lot of people there. Which is unfortunate. Let's see. 3:48. Yeah, we just started. And it's showing as supposedly I'm going. Honestly, no questions. Surprisingly, that is interesting. You've done a lot when nobody has questions. That's sort of the goal after all, is to get to a point where people just don't have questions anymore. And that's the point where I'm going to have to start spacing these out more. But the goal is to get as many new people as I can involved and engaged, and get them to a point where they just don't have a lot of questions anymore. That's a goal. Apertura, hello. Your name doesn't sound so familiar. I don't know if you've been in one of these before, but if you have, welcome back. If not, welcome. Hope you're doing all right. How many cycles do I do mild in bed or before bed and before wake back to bed? For me, I do things a little bit more unorthodox, just because I remember usually a decent number of dreams each night. So I usually mild with every dream that I could remember for that night or the past 2 nights, depending on, how many dreams I remembered that night. For example, today, I'm probably going to mild with what I recalled from today. because there's some good stuff there. And then I'm also going to mild a bit with what I recalled yesterday because there's some good stuff there. And just do both because I find that would be pretty helpful in terms of that. But yeah, I always recommend the 15 to 20 minutes. And during wake back to beds, what I'll generally do is if I'm remembering dreams, which most of the times I am remembering some dreams during wake back to beds, because I wake up so many times, I usually will pick one of those dreams to mild with, especially if it was a good one. And that usually helps a bit. If I got a good dream and I'm mild with it during a wake back to bed, that's usually a good sign. Pizza Man Zero is spamming. Hello. I didn't at in Dream Cafe. It was supposed to be at the events. Hold up here. I put it in Lucid Dreaming chat. I don't at people in there. Yeah, happening now. My event should be a banner across the top of the server right now. Because that's sort of how events work. Which means everyone on the server should be able to see it. Distant events. Let's see here. Well, I see the problem. Yeah, it hit event host. Here. Confirm. There we go. Now I've pinged events instead of event hosts. Yeah, I really hate that designation there. There we go. Yeah. I was kind of in a hurry because I had to get this thing started. I was running a little late. I actually started a minute and a half late. I got a phone call, so I actually had to hurry. Should you wait back to bed for recall? Yeah. Also, remember the things we discussed earlier today in Dream Cafe. There are the 4 things you can do for recall aside from wake back to beds, which if you're doing wake back to beds, you should also do these things as well. Reviewing dreams before bed. So reviewing dreams that you remember, looking at your dream journal, finding dream signs. And while you're doing that, you can also do the second one, setting intentions to remember dreams before bed. We discussed that. It's making a decision to perform a future action associated with the trigger. In this case, deciding that you're going to remember your dreams when you wake up, which goes really well with delving because now you have the decision that you're going to remember your dreams when you wake up. And then you have the action of actively attempting to remember your dreams when you wake up, which is what delving is. And those two just go really well together for that reason. Of course, when you delve, you're doing the most active thing you can do for recall. You're going through your most recent memories, using the position you laid in as an association to your most recent dreams, and then going through sensory memory or just dreams memory if you can get it immediately, and then working your way backwards through whatever you can remember, and then recording it down. Now, in terms of journaling for wake back to beds, there are 2 things you do. You can go whole hog and journal everything during wake back to bed, or you can do what's called like tagging and journal just bits of it in a wake back to bed, but journal, enough of it that you can remember to journal the full thing later. And it's sort of like a journalist type deal. Who, what, when, where, why, how. The 6 questions of journalism. Who was there, what was going on, when. Well, the when doesn't matter as much in terms of timing, but it could be like an afternoon or time of day. Where, okay, so like what was the setting? Why were you doing what you're doing? And I guess you could throw in how as well, like how you were doing things. Yeah, but just the basic journalistic questions. You verbalize and you set attention just in your mind. Honestly, it's making a decision. You just think about it for a minute. Like not really, you don't need to do a ton with it. It's not a ritual. This is just deciding to do it. And you're also pairing it with other practices, which is a key part of this. So remember all the things you're doing. Part of intention setting is, like for example, if you're going to visit your friend's house on Saturday, you're going to plan for it. So part of intention setting is planning. So look at the way you're planning for recall. All right. So you're doing repetitive events recall. All right. That's planning. You're planning that specifically for your recall. All right. You're going to delve when you wake up. You're doing that for your recall. There are things that you're doing. You're already planning to do. You're technically intention setting for those already, even though you may not see it that way. But when you consider that you're going to write down your dreams when you recall them, you're setting intentions to do that. You're setting intentions to delve whenever you decide that you're going to delve when you wake up. So all you're doing with this is just setting intentions to remember your dreams. You're deciding to remember them. Hello, Jenna. Glad you could make it. Really apologize for last night. Hello there. Let's see if we've gotten up to 4 people yet. Oh, it was 8 for a second. Now it's 7. Okay, good thing the Dream Cafe notification went through. That doubled my audience. Okay. Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate it, man. You're awesome. Yeah, I really do apologize though for last night. Last night was an unmitigated disaster. I have no shame in admitting it. That was just terrible. I also need a refresh on how to delve. I actually just went over it a couple minutes ago, but basically, so when you're delving, all right. So first off, the first thing that you do when you delve is you wake up. The very first thing that happens, you're waking up, all right. And delving is the very first thing you do when you're waking up. So when you wake up, you stay in the position that you're in, and you think about, okay, what was I last doing? What was I dreaming? What was I last doing? Okay, what was I last thinking about, feeling emotionally? What ideas could I be thinking about? And then sensory, what was I feeling, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, etc. Engaging your senses. All right, and then if you get things as a result of thinking about that, all right, so say you have a dream scene. So for example, all right, well, me and my dad are in the kitchen. This is fake, by the way. This isn't a real dream, full disclosure, but it's one I actually use in my video when I talk about delving. So me and my dad are in the kitchen, and he's teaching me Morse code. Instead of dots and dashes, they're using monkey heads, and they're either facing up or they're facing down. Okay, so now that's a dream scene. So now you remember something that came from a dream. Okay, so then what do you do? All right, what happened before that? Well, before that, there's some aliens that came and they landed in the backyard, and we had to hide from them. So we're trying to come up with a way to communicate. That's sort of what delving is. You go backwards. Okay, well, the aliens are coming, and we kind of knew that there's some really strange crap going on around the planet because there's some just weird coloring in the sky, and everything just looked weird. And we were just watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind on TV, and we're thinking, something crazy is probably going to happen today. I mean, that's just a weird example. But again, dream logic being dream logic, what you expect to happen happens, and the reason doesn't matter. But when you're lucid, it does, because you can control it. So it's awesome. But yeah, that's what delving is. You go back through your dreams. You try to go back through as much as you can in the way I was describing. You start at the end and you go backwards. It's sort of counterintuitive to how you would normally think about doing something, but there's solid, sound reasoning behind it. It's because memory works on association. What's the easiest thing to associate in terms of memory? The very last thing you just did. All right. So when you're waking up, the easiest thing to associate with, and this is why you stay in the same sleeping position, because that position is associated with what you were just dreaming. Your most recent thoughts, most recent emotions, your most recent ideas or feelings would be associated with it. And that's why you think about that. And then you get the most recent dream scene, and it is associated with what happened before that. And so you work your way backwards. So it may sound counterintuitive to work your way backwards for anyone who's not used to delving, but I think most of you guys here are. But it makes a lot of sense logically when you actually think about how memory works. Just Philip. Comedy quote number 1. Can I educate a new person who came from explosive dreaming with just destroyed become human quotes? No. Because trolling is a crime punishable by, life in prison. Trolling is bad. We don't troll. Don't troll newbies, Philip. That's just rude. Even if you think it's funny, it may be funny to you, but it's not funny. In fact, I personally think that trolling a newbie who's trying to learn is one of the rudest things you can do. And don't ever, ever troll a newbie around me, because I will react very negatively to it. Because a new person who's just learning what things are, you may know it's a joke, and they may not. And that joke is only funny if everyone thinks it's funny. You need to turn your alarm off? Yeah, it is. You can also get a touchless one. Also, some advice: if you think you might fall back asleep delving, and especially if you're waking up at the end of the night, you can always set 2 alarms. Like, for example, set an alarm 15 minutes before you would normally wake up. Then you can delve, and if you do fall asleep, you got a second alarm that goes off to make sure you wake up. I mean, so there are things you can do there as well. AFR0 Afro, I guess. Not sure if you've talked on here, but welcome to Skyfall Blind Dreamer. Welcome to the stream. The other day I did a reality check in a dream, but I instantly woke up. How can I avoid that? A few things actually. First off, there are some times where you can't. Sometimes the dream's just going to end naturally. That happens sometimes. Aside from a dream ending naturally, which tends to happen more often as a beginner, just because you get lucid at the very end, or sometimes you get lucid as you're about to wake up. That does actually happen to people. But the other ways a dream can end are externally. So your alarm goes off, it wakes you up, or a noise happens in your house, wakes you up. Happened to me many times. People physically wake you up. I get a text on my phone. Boom, woke me up from a really fun lucid. In fact, I think that was lucid 158, 150, not 150. Excuse me, 458. That was just about a week or half ago. Lucid 458. Text notification. Beep. Wakes me up. Ruins it. But yeah. So the other things aside from external forces, aside from the dream naturally ending, the other thing that wakes you up generally is expecting to wake up. You thinking that you're going to wake up and waking up as a result of expecting that doing something is going to cause you to wake up. And when I say expectation here, I want to clarify what I mean. Expectation is a combination of your strongest associations or schematic associations, your strongest ones, the things that you think are most likely to happen, and your emotions, which dictate the mood or feeling of a dream. And they tend to influence what your strongest association at a given time is. So for example, LaBerge actually outlined this really well with schema. He talked about when he was talking about schema in chapter 2, I believe, of Exploring the World of Lucid Dream. Somebody correct me on this if you actually know, but I think it was chapter 2. I might need to double check. He's talking about you're walking down the road, and you associate, you see a figure on the other side of the street, and part of this is emotions, and then the other part is your association. So someone who may be feeling apprehensive see that figure and think, oh, that's somebody who's stalking me, and then they end up with a chase dream where they think that's the person's stalking them. They associate that, what they see, with that. Another person who may be feeling more less stressed or more at peace with everything may see that figure and go, oh, that's just a friend that's going to meet me at the movie theater, and you have a dream about that. And LaBerge kind of uses that example to demonstrate how your associations actively impact your dreams. They are reality, your strong associations. So avoiding anything associating stuff with waking up, unless you want to wake up. And that's one of the biggest problems and pitfalls with YouTube, is that there are a lot of things that say, don't do this or you'll wake up. That's wrong. In fact, them telling you not to do something or you'll wake up is giving you an association of, if you do it, you'll wake up, which is terrible. But the other thing I would just advise you do is just pay attention to what you're doing. Right? Because there is such a thing as dissociation, or just fully not paying attention to anything that's going on and dissociating from your dream. That can happen, and that can be a catalyst for waking up. But just pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to what you're experiencing. Don't get so caught up in everything you want to do that you don't pay attention to what you're already experiencing. That'd be just my little word of advice there. I feel like Cheetah feels like not too many people do SSLD on the server, which is kind of sad. Yeah, I don't, SSLD never really caught my attention personally. It wasn't really something I enjoyed doing. I mess with it a little bit. Wow, I caught up. What a surprise. And we still only have 7 people. And if I got another 6, I would have a peak concurrence, which would be awesome. Thank you, Afro. I appreciate you coming. You have any more questions? I have another 40 minutes to go, and I'm here to answer questions in as much detail as you would like to have it answered. So if you have any more questions, Afro, please stick around and ask them. They will be answered, because there's not a whole lot of volume right now, and I'm pretty good at going off on some tangents and actually going into detail on things. I like doing that a bit. It's pretty fun. Improvisation and public speaking is one of the things I actually enjoy doing, and it's another reason I'm comfortable making these hour-long streams so often, is because I feel like I can just carry on a conversation if I have to. I can talk and just carry on a conversation. You were successful with SSLD after 3 weeks, JKLIOP. Congratulations. I don't know what that name's supposed to mean. I know JKLOP, well, MN, but the I in the middle, I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. But awesome, dude. After fixing my schema issues, which dude, are you trolling me, Philip? Anyway, we're not going to go into server politics on my YouTube channel. If you want to go into Dream Cafe server politics, you're not going to do that on. We're not going to do that on my platform. That's not what I do. I'll go into server politics on the server or in DMs, but I'm not really interested in drama on the platform. I'm just not. Okay. Anyway, but I just remembered, Philip, by the way, because I like your content. I actually didn't have you in my links and my linked channels, but I am going to add you in there. So I will go grab your channel link when I'm done with this and actually add you to my recommended channels so people can see your content there as well, because I do like your content. Shame you can't stick around, JK, but hope you have a good one. What do I want to do in a lucid dream that I haven't done before? A lot, actually. So I would like to have a sustained dream where I can actually fly a high performance aircraft or spacecraft of my design. I want to get back onto Star Horizons. I have a lot that I want to do there, including exploring the ship. Keep in mind the thing's supposed to be 50 miles long by my design. So there's a lot to explore there, and start just inside the ship itself. There's a lot to explore. I want to go into intergalactic conflict with it. I have this whole battle plan that I want to do where it's me versus the Borg versus the Death Star, in the Galactic Empire, the Rebel Alliance, and the Yuuzhan Vong. And if you don't know who those are, I'm a nerd, and I'm proud of it. Star Trek and Star Wars both, and I've deal with the expanded universe content a bit. So Borg Tactical Cube, one of those. The Death Star, 10,000 Imperial Star Destroyers, 10,000 Matlock class cruisers or dreadnoughts and skip carriers, or a mix of the two. Then you have smaller ships, starfighters. There'd be millions of them, starfighters, or at least hundreds of thousands. And the Rebel Alliance is a small group just trying to survive, because the Empire wants the rebels to be defeated. The Yuuzhan Vong wants to kill every single being that uses technology, and the Borg wants to assimilate any technology they think is useful. So the single Borg ship is going to be able to adapt to any hits that it can take, and just all the Star Wars weapons will be impervious to it. And the Yuuzhan Vong will be fighting the Borg, and then the Borg, if they start assimilating the Yuuzhan Vong who use organic-based technology, then the Yuuzhan Vong will go insane, because the Borg are like the ultimate abomination for them, turning people into half machines. So then you have the Rebel Alliance. The Empire just wants them dead. Now the Empire is trying to survive, and the Rebels are just like, whoa, what are we doing here? And then there's me, who's my ship is supposed to be more powerful than all of them, and to put an end to conflict against this. Again, intergalactic conflict is sort of what my PR is designed around. Yes. Do I see Lucid Dreams as a good place to come up with creative ideas for video games or stories? Creative story? Yes, I do, Cheeto. I think that is a great place to come up with ideas for things. I think using your imagination that way and just being creative, that's a really good idea way to come up with stuff like that. You were Borg. No, that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm a Star Trekkie. I'm a Star Trek nerd. I can trek out all day. Ever tried to give myself vision and an LD to see what happened? No, not really. It's actually hasn't really been something I've been attempting to do. Lately, I've been attempting to mess around. I've been really wanting to teleport myself into a spaceship and fly it into a black hole for fun. But I haven't been able to do that yet. Just so sad. Half the game you're making is surprised their dream plots. Well, I'm writing a book that is probably going to have 2 or 3 chapters max where the characters are actually awake. Maybe 4 chapters at the end. But for most of the book, they're going to be dreaming, and you're going to have dream plots with these aliens who have invaded by telepathically invading the minds of everyone, and they exist in both waking and dreams. But all the humans are suppressed and are constantly dreaming, and the aliens can actually seek out lucid dreamers and attack them, and they try to capture them and put them into arenas to fight to the death over and over and over again. And I actually made I come up with some chapter titles. So my chapter 3 title is I'm using my best chapter titles at the beginning of the book. Oh my goodness, I haven't started writing chapter 3 yet, but chapter 3's title is a play on the famous book by I believe Carnegie, How to Make Friends and Influence People. So my chapter title is How to Make Enemies and Influence Reality. Because why not? That's sort of my sort of MO there. But I have all of chapter 2 is where the dreams start in chapter 2, and basically the entire chapter is a giant laundry list of dream signs you have to pay attention to, because it gives you hints as you're reading the chapter that the character is dreaming. In fact, a lucid dreamer reading that should know very quickly the character is dreaming, because there are a lot of things that are abnormal for the character and that are said so up front in the beginning of that chapter. And the character ultimately is going to realize that they're dreaming later on in the chapter, but it takes a while for that to actually happen. So I'm having a lot of fun with that sort of concept and ideas. I've also come up with a concept of conflicting dream control. So, like, what happened? I'm actually exploring the concept of telepathic aliens, and what would it be like if you had an alien that was actually sharing your mind and your dream and could actually influence it? All right. So now you have your dream control capability in your mind that affects things, but now your mind isn't the only thing creating the dream anymore. Now the aliens willpower and the alien's mental influence is also creating it. So how would dream control work in that circumstance? I'm actually coming up with things for how that could go and what things could do. He's having a lucid dreaming persistent realm where he's in 5th grade. Oh my god. I don't know if I should laugh or feel really, really sorry for this guy. Honestly, Cheeto, I really don't know. He doesn't try to lucid dream, but he's getting lucids. Are you working with him on controlling his dreams and controlling his lucidity? Yeah, I don't care about the special effects, and yeah, the story writing is crap. And also, there are way more openly like leftists these days than they used to be. They were always left leaning, but now they're way more openly leftist. And I like DS9. I like the Dominion War arcs. Those are fun, honestly. The Dominion War was cool. I liked, some of Next Generation stuff. I like the Q. I love the Q and exploring like the concepts of reality. The Q and the Traveler are some of my favorite characters. What constitutes reality, sort of things that they did. And Data honestly made me laugh a lot. I can see Data sense of humor. In fact, I totally get the sort of pure logic humor that he had. I loved it. But yeah, I don't care about special effects. I don't see them. But yeah, I know a few Klingon swear words from Next Generation. You speak the lies of a Tarkek. And since I'm swearing in Klingon, it doesn't actually really matter what I say. I don't even know what Tarkek means, but I know what Baktag means. And because they usually call someone a piece of it. But oh, cool! My cheater. Earlier today, I told him all about intention, schema, expectation. Amazing, bro. Awesome. Make sure he actually takes some of that to heart and learns it. Okay. In fact, if he's interested in learning more about lucid dreams at all, send him our way. Send him our way. Data is a vibe favorite character. Yeah, Data is awesome. I love Data. Jordy is pretty cool. Jordy LaForge, by the way, the blind engineer. Except there's only one real episode where they actually truly explore. Well, there are only a couple episodes where they truly explore Jordy's blindness, because he has the visor and stuff that helps him like see, and then you don't actually really see him being blind. But that episode where he's on the planet Galorndon Core with the Romulan, and his visor stops working, and now the he cannot actually see. They actually explore his character's blindness. That is interesting because he is still like actually doing what he knows how to do and adapting to the situation that he has been thrust into, which is really cool. I love seeing that side of the character. That exploring that arc was actually really fun. Not to mention, I love seeing Tomalot get basically defeated. Defector, by the way, if you haven't, if Jonah, if you're a fan of Next Generation, Defector, gotta watch Defector. Defector's awesome. Yet, I don't know about what you mean by the movie, because the series I listened to was the reboot, the ones they did in the 2000s. It was 4 seasons long, and it started with like a 2-part little mini series that was basically the destruction of the 12 colonies, and went into the whole post-apocalyptic future for humanity. And yes, I love those shows. I watched all 4 seasons in probably the span of like 2 months, only because I just stopped watching for a while during the middle of it, because I could go through one season in like a couple days. Oh, Battlestar Galactica was awesome. I went through those in like 2021. Yeah, show what he sees when they find the Klingon rebels. Yeah, they the episodes where they show that. I can't actually see that, so I can't see what he sees and what they do with that. That doesn't actually resonate with me just because I can't see it. Finds the Klingon rebels. Yeah, there's some really good story arcs. Some really good characters that came out of that. Worf, really, really great recurring character. Obviously recurring character. He's the main cast. I love seeing him on DS9, and Jadzia Dax is kind of cool. The Changelings, the founders, Odo, and of course Garrick. Garrick is awesome. New Caprica PR. Are you so if you're in a New Caprica PR, just Philip, are you going to be a Cylon model 1, 2, 5? I don't think they have the 7s anymore. I think they destroyed the 7s. Are you going to be a Cylon model 1, 2, 5, or a human? Or 4? I forgot the 4s. Yeah, Cylon model 1, 2, or maybe just 1, 2, and 5s. I think it's just the 1, 2s, and 5s that you could be. I don't know. Well, unless you're one of the girl models, so you could be a 3, a 6, or an 8, because they're kind of cool. But yeah, are you going to be one of the Cylons? Or are you going to be human? And if you're human, are you going to be part of the occupational government, or are you going to be a rebel, or are you going to be with the exiles, with the Galactica and the Pegasus? I mean, there are several different good choices that you could pick for that. It's okay, Jenna. You don't feel bad. It's fine, bro. But yeah, just so I could go all day with Battlestar Galactica. I'm pretty good at that stuff. I'd probably be a Viper pilot, but honestly, their ships are way too low tech in Battlestar. They don't have transporters. They don't have shields. They can't, well, their FTLs are like advanced, but everything else is like their weapons are kinetic projectile weapons and nukes, which by Star Trek standards are actually really weak. If a Star Trek ship going up against a Battlestar Galactica ship, Star Trek ship destroy them 10 out of 10. Those nukes wouldn't even damage the shields, and Star Trek phasers would just like destroy any ship that doesn't have shielding. It's like decimated. 4, 5, and 8 would be fun. Yeah, the Model 8s are really cool. You have Boomer, you have Athena, and you have a couple others they show, but the Model 8s are pretty cool. Like they're interesting because they decide their loyalties based on their interactions, and then they're very loyal even throughout like whatever situations they're in. The 8s are really cool. The 6s are interesting. On the 3s, you don't see much of 3s because Diana's whole line gets boxed. And the 1s are just manipulative bastards. Careful with the 1s. I mean, being a 1 could kind of be cool. Like you're manipulating everybody else. But like, I don't know. I think like the natural resting place for, someone who's using dream control would be a 1. I mean, you're just manipulating everything. What was my first listed? It lasted 1 second long. And it was in a swimming pool, and I was repeating the stream over and over again about 3 times. And I was in this pool. Like actually, lucid part lasted a second. I think the actual dream was probably a minute and a half too. But I got lucid as I was going underwater and just was able to start breathing. And then I woke up. And then the very next day, I had one that was a couple minutes, and that was really awesome. That was really fun. We're down to 6. Yeah. Tonight was not the best night, unfortunately. Yeah, it's been pretty fun. I must say I do enjoy doing these streams. They're quite entertaining. So I very much enjoy these. I got class this week. I can't believe it. Spring break is over, guys. I had spring break all last week, and I was free to do whatever I wanted. Well, almost, except for the last few days. Really had to get this project done. And now it's done. And now I'm free to do what I want for the next couple hours. And then I have class tomorrow, unfortunately. And then Tuesday. The good news is I only have like one more major actual project, and it's this paper. And that paper is due at the end of April, so I'm going to be starting on that soon. And then going from there. See, something's, I don't know. There's my slow-mo the chat there. Let's see, where are we? Let's see if this. Now I have a list of participants. Okay. Actually, ooh. I actually can't even do anything with that list now. Lol. There's a back button that you can't even access with a screen reader. You have to use the touch screen on my laptop and then flick around to get to it. That's a real pain in the butt. That is inaccessible. I hate that. Well, no more questions. I didn't actually miss anything. How are we on time? It's 8:53. Let's see here. Anyone else have any more questions? Otherwise, I might just end this a little early because we don't have a lot going on. Unless there's something there's a topic that you want me to maybe go into detail, spend like 10 minutes talking about, because I could do that too. If you guys would like me to go into detail about something and just talk for a little bit, I can totally do that. All depends on what you guys want. Let's see how we are timing wise. 37 minutes, 26 seconds was the reading. We're down to 5 people. So it's a small and intimate group right now. So let's see. What do I have coming up? So I got so coming up for me, I have class obviously, and then next on my YouTube list is, aside from doing my streams, is to get my mild guide out. I'm get that out next. That's gonna be my next video, is mild. It's about time I had that, and I've been doing it very meticulously, my videos so far, because I want them to be kind of in order. I've gone through the basic fundamental stuff. My goal is that if you watch my video playlist in order, then you actually get content in an order that helps you build the fundamental knowledge as you expand into learning the techniques. That's sort of my reasoning behind my approach to teaching. That's sort of how I'm doing this. Now, I've got the mild guide that's going to come next, and I'll probably do a wild related tutorial after that. I'm not as comfortable with wild as I am with mild because I don't do it as often, but I can definitely tell you what not to do from my own experience. So there are some things there that I can do. Very much looking forward to the trips I'll be taking. I will likely live stream on, I may not live stream on April 2nd. Actually, I may skip next week, and then I may live stream on April 2nd. The question is, do I do a Saturday night live stream when I get home, which I may do, or do I do an afternoon one from Denver Airport, because I'm flying to Denver for the day? I'm not really sure, honestly. And considering how bad my internet was last night, I'm still contemplating doing a live stream from the cruise. I would just need to pick a decent spot to do it from. I might go up to at the Serenity. They probably wouldn't like that up there. That's the adult place. So I'm 25, so I can go in there. But I don't think they would appreciate someone just talking to people in there. But I'm sure I can find a reasonably quiet spot on the ship to share everything with you guys. It's been fun, guys. I am going to get ready to end unless we have any questions here. I really appreciate everyone. Everyone's been awesome. So we're going to get ready to end here. I'd like to thank you all for showing up, and I hope you all have a good night.